Welcome to Digging Life, a channel dedicated to you, the person who is new in excavation and grading. We cover everything from dump truck operation to bulldozers, excavator skid steers, and all other types of excavation equipment and excavating and grading processes. If you think that you would benefit from videos on how to and every aspect of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, tap the bell if you want notifications, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the comments. Good rainy morning, everybody. It is Monday, and over the weekend, one of my friends on the channel here, David Shields, asked a great question, and y'all are my friends, you know. I don't see y'all as just subscribers. You're people that I'm getting to know, I'm interacting with, and I am having a blast. He asked me, how do you bid a job? And there is so many factors. The first place you have to start, and most people know this, is how much do you have to make per month to survive, to live a good life? You know, life to me is not just about getting by. You want to live, and you want to live well. So you've got to know your numbers. That is the number one thing. So your living numbers, how much money do you want to make to where you make your bills, your mortgage, water, electric, all that stuff that you have to pay to have a comfortable life, okay? Then you add in your pocket money. How much do you want to make extra? Now, we are in a tax bracket where we have to pay 30 to 35% of our profits to the government for all the stuff that they provide. And a lot of people they hate that, but the reality of it is the government does provide us with good services. You know, we don't always understand them, but you know what? You might as well think about life in a positive way. You need to think about it like the government is trying to think about the people. There are people in the government that are trying to think about us. So, you know, don't worry about that 30, 35%. If you want to make $500 a day, you know, and that's what's going to be comfortable for you, and then you pay your 30%, so you make $300 a day, you know. And these aren't my numbers are different. They're set to me personally. So you come up with that number, you know. Say you've got to make $4,000 a month, okay? $4,000, that's $1,000 a week, so that's 1,000 divided by, let's say you work 5 days, that's $200 a day, divided by 8, okay? It's $25 an hour. That's not bad for somebody, you know. You should be able to make a little bit more than that if you're working for yourself. And these numbers are hypothetical. They're not realistic numbers. I'm just trying to keep a thought process going here, okay? So, you get that number that you have to make per month. You can pay your taxes on them if you pay them, and you're going to be happy. You're going to be comfortable. Don't bid yourself down, you know, to where you're unhappy all day. You wish you were doing something else, okay? That's the hard part, you know, deciding on what's realistic, okay? Step number 2, okay, you've got to figure out the machine that you're running. Mr. David Shields has a VIO 55, okay? It's very comparable to my machine, the 80. His machine is about 13,000 pound machine. Mine is close to 19,000 now. We have the additional counterweight. The easiest way, if you've just gotten into this, you know, and you have, let's just say you haven't been renting a machine and you don't know how much it's going to cost you to operate, you know, that comes from experience. That comes from days and days of running the machine and running tank after tank of fuel through it to figure out how much fuel you burn per hour, you know, and air filter, oil filter, fuel filter, I don't know if I said that, on this machine, plus the labor to do it, is about $250. So, you know, 50 hours, $250 in maintenance just for the engine. So, you know, you're about $5 an hour in maintenance on these things. One way to circumvent all that stuff you don't know, okay? David, you've got a 55, okay? call a couple of rental companies that rent out between a 12 and a 13,000 pound machine. Doesn't matter what brand, okay? Ask them how much it costs to rent that machine for a day, okay? One company might say $300, another company may be at $450. Always go with the higher price because that's safer for you. And what you're going to do for every day that you think you're going to be on a job, you're going to figure in $450 as if you're having to rent that machine from a rental, okay? What you do with that $450 is you set it aside. You don't just pocket it and say, oh boy, man, I made 450 bucks extra. It's not extra. That rental company has done all the work for you. They've got the experience. You know for a fact that they're not going to rent you a machine for $450 if that is what it costs to operate. There is a profit fit in there. They got the maintenance and the overhead on that machine, plus the profit to sustain a big company, which has truck drivers, mechanics, salesmen, okay? So when you're the company, you are everybody, you know, especially if you work by yourself, and that's the best way to start out. You want to be hands-on in the job. You don't want to just buy a machine you know nothing about and put an operator in it. You need to get out here and do this work yourself. Have a blast with it, okay? So we got our $450 per day, okay? Now, knowing how long a job is going to take you is an experience thing. I started out, you know, I was nervous. I was afraid of the big jobs. So I would only take on jobs that I could look at and I knew for a fact how long it was going to take me. And if I thought that it was going to take a day to do that job, figure 2 days. You know, and you may figure 2 days and the price is getting up there, it's a little bitty job, and you're afraid they're not going to take the bid. That's okay. Give them your numbers, and if you don't win the bid, you've lost a little bit of time going to look at the job. You've lost some gas in your car driving to look at the job. But you're not going to potentially lose thousands because you underbid a job. And this early in the game, you can't afford to be losing thousands because you misread a job or you underestimate time. So be safe with it, you know, and if you're in question how long it's going to take, you can't really call somebody else because more than likely you're calling somebody that's experienced and they've been doing it every day. Their skills are up, you know, recent. They're fluid in their machine. They're going to say, oh yeah, it's a day job, and it's all second nature to them, but it'll take you 3 days because you'll dig a little bit and it won't be just right, and you're going to have to backfill, you know. So don't be afraid to get out there and make a mistake or two, you know, but cover yourself with time. Time can be your friend, it can be your enemy. So that's the best way I can tell you to bid a job. Get that rental price and use it to your advantage. You know that they've got everything built into it. It's a safe number for you. So once you do that and you start getting a few jobs, don't just keep with that number. You need to immediately, you know, keep track of your hours on the machine, how much fuel you burn per hour. You got to keep track of your maintenance because your maintenance might be different, but since your base that you're starting with is a rental price, you're getting work, you can stay at that. Or if you want to eventually make more profit and you got all your numbers, all your operating costs, your insurance, all that stuff figured out, and you're like, oh man, I can operate this machine at $300 a day. You can either keep that price, pay yourself a little bit more, or you can lower your prices and start winning more bids, which I've found if you're kind of middle of the road as far as pricing, that you will benefit. And, you know, you're going to be able to help your customers out. You're going to be able to help people out that aren't as fortunate as some, and you'll be able to run the business. So hopefully I've kind of given you a direction to go, and that this will help you guys, that it'll, you know, give you the confidence to do this thing. You know, get out there. And if you haven't bought a machine, you know, besides David, you guys out there that are thinking about doing this, the safer way to go is to actually just rent a machine, get experience, and even though you're renting and paying rent, keep track on those machines. You know, start, you know, like a spreadsheet on your computer of a specific machine, how much fuel it burned, you know, talk to mechanics, find out what kind of, you know, the maintenance intervals are, how much it costs to do a hydraulic maintenance, oil maintenance. You know, this is a lot of stuff and it can be overwhelming, and that's why I like the idea of people who are new to doing their own business renting, because the rental company's done all the guesswork. It's built in, you're safe. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If I didn't hit on a point that was good enough, you know, you guys just tell me and I'll make another video and I'll hit on those points. So other than that, you guys either rent your piece of equipment, buy you something, start out small. Don't try to grow too fast, and you'll be able to enjoy this business more. I love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So hopefully you guys liked the video. It'd humble me greatly if you'd subscribe, and if you're in the area and you need excavation and grading in North Carolina, the western part of it anyway, give us a call. We'd love to work for you. Y'all have a great day.